inside, with just a little baby.
Drop it.
It's okay to say that a weak smile.
It's Hoodie Allen.
Always have to be on time.
What up, Arena? You know how we do. They telling me to take the safe route. This is the detour. Hoodie, baby, you ain't seen a kid like this before.
WWE and IGN present the WWE2K18 roster reveal. Now, here are your hosts, Corey Graves and Renee Young.
Hey guys, welcome to the second edition of the WWE2K18 roster reveal. I'm Renee Young, this handsome dapper man, Corey Graves.
That's so nice. This is why we're friends.
It's our friendship.
Not
it's
too many
based on
people
you
compliment me the way
him.
that you do. I value it.
So what we're doing here is obviously running down the roster. We've already done one installment of it. Today we're just going to keep rolling with that and keep. This is the largest roster we've ever had here in WWE 2K.
We're trying to keep your appetite satiated as we march toward October 17th, the official drop date for WWE 2K18. I know I can't wait, so we're going to give you a little teaser, something to keep you happy.
We're going to give you the teaser for that, but also, yeah, you can pre-order the deluxe edition or the Seen Enough edition. You can actually play 4 days earlier if you really need to satiate that appetite.
I think that's a great idea because 4 days earlier is way better than 4 days later.
Obviously, I mean, you get the leg up on all your friends. So last week, we got to reveal something. We had the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose, a WWE legend, Hall of Famer, Dusty Rhodes, the debut of Nikki Cross here from NXT. Of course, we've got like the big men division. We got to see Luke Harper, The Undertaker.
Braun Strowman.
Damn right. All right, we're going to keep rolling on here. You want to bring on our next guest?
Why wait?
Let's do it. Let's bring him on out. Ladies and gentlemen, Samoa Joe.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing well, I'm doing well.
How are you, Joe?
Hey, doing Corey?
Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to being a part of this game once again this year. But more important than that, I'm looking forward to seeing the many, many people on the roster who I'll be choking out.
How did you feel when we got to see the reveal of the cover superstar here?
So it's interesting, and I kind of understand the concept behind it. Obviously, you wanted to put Seth on the cover. He's far less intimidating than me. He might, kind of prevent more timid gamers from getting the game if I, let's say, was on the cover.
Okay.
And, hey, listen, you got to go for kind of broad appeal. And listen, it's very harmless. I'm very dangerous. I can see why they maybe kind of passed me over for the cover this year.
I had some questions, but I think you just answered them. It's all in the name of marketing.
Absolutely.
It's got to be.
I know. I mean, when you see that on the cover, you go, hey, listen, this might be a fun, happy experience. You see me on the cover, and you realize that destruction is imminent.
How was it the first time you got to see yourself in the video game?
It was fantastic. I mean, obviously, 2K does a tremendous job in trying to capture the superstars as accurately as possible, right down to the skin tone, to almost the pores on your face. And I know this year there's kind of a new game engine, and I know that it's going to look even better than last year.
When you first got to play yourself, who did you have your first match against?
So the first time I played myself, I think my first match was actually against AJ Styles, because it's familiar territory. I mean, it's just,
Sure.
You pick your poisons, and that's one I know very well. So I knew it was a good little testing round to see how my character worked out.
Are there any legends in the game that you look forward to stepping into the ring with?
I mean, there's many legends. I mean, all the way from Andre the Giant to notorious tough guys throughout the history of WWE. So any one of those fantastic superstars, I'd be more than happy to beat up.
We know that this year is no different than years past. 2K18, no shortage of legends with which to step in the ring with Samoa Joe. Let's take a look right now at some of the new legend additions.
Goldberg, or I'd like to call him the man that got out of WWE before I get my hands on him. Earthquake. Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Larry Zbyszko. Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Greg the Hammer Valentine, the Rated R Superstar Edge,
Pimpin' ain't easy.
WWE Hall of Famer The Godfather,
Viva la raza.
Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero, of course, Daniel Bryan.
Well, Joe, Daniel Bryan's somebody that obviously you know very well.
Absolutely. I mean, I have an extensive past with Daniel Bryan, and we've met several times in the ring, and I've always been a big proponent that iron sharpens iron, and Daniel Bryan and myself have definitely benefited from facing each other several times over our careers, and he's definitely one of the most fierce competitors that I've ever been in the ring with.
You talk about iron sharpening iron, and just looking at the women's revolution that we've had here in WWE, some of the most intense competitors we've ever had in WWE. So why don't we break down a little more of the reveal of some of the women here in WWE 2K18.
Yeah, they're tough.
The most must-see, Maryse. Feel the glow with Naomi. The Boss, Sasha Banks. Everybody's favorite hugger, Bayley. Ivory. The Queen of Hearts, Natalya. Mickie James. And Ireland's own Becky Lynch. Tamina. And from NXT, making her debut, Ember Moon. Well, we did part of the reveal last week, and now looking at the rest of what's been added now to the women's division, it's cool to think of the dream matchups you can put together in the divisions.
Now, off the top of my head, you can put Ember Moon from NXT against WWE Hall of Famer Alundra Blaze. The possibilities are truly endless. But, guys, in my personal opinion, the list begins and ends at the letter A. Maryse is in the game.
Oh, you love Maryse.
Yeah, I do. Did you ever put Q-tips in both of your ears and spin them at the same time?
No.
That's how I feel when I look at Maryse.
That's such a weird thing. She is beautiful, I'll give you that. I mean, there's no arguing that. And luckily for you, I mean, the graphics seem to be amazing, right? I mean, what makes this so much better this year?
You know, it's funny. I think it's one of those things that 2K always pays a lot of attention to, and it's the details. It's how we look, it's how we move, and how we kind of go in the ring. I know this year we have a brand new retooled game engine with brand new lighting effects, and it's definitely going to make 2K18 look better than any previous WWE 2K game.
All right, you guys want to move on to our next division here?
Shall
Absolutely.
we?
Let's do it. We're looking at the new reveal of the tag team division here, 2K18.
The modern-day warrior, Kerry Von Erich. The master of the claw, Kevin Von Erich. Jey Uso. Jimmy Uso. Mojo Rawley. Woo, 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 Zack Ryder. Well, the WWE 2K18 roster continues to expand with members of great tag teams. And guys, I got a little inside tip.
Okay.
My online gamer community let me know
What'd they let you know?
that in order to play as Kevin Von Erich, you have to take your shoes off. The controller just locks up.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe will back me up on
Wow.
this.
Yeah.
Just shuts right down on you, huh?
Yeah, it's still awesome to be able to play as one of the greatest of all time. So, Joe, speaking of tag teams, I know the tag team gameplay was enhanced this year with 2K18. What do you know about that?
Well, I know one thing. When it comes to tag teams, obviously, it's all about teamwork. And this year's double team moves, I mean, we've put in a bunch more. And I heard that they're just as devastating, if not twice as devastating, as most of the regular moves.
All right, we're going to take a look at some of the superstars that are currently killing it here in WWE.
One of my greatest rivals, Shinsuke Nakamura. The phenomenal AJ Styles. The glorious Bobby Roode. The Miz. And the so-called big dog, Roman Reigns.
What did you think of that last list that we just saw? Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles. I mean, these are some guys that you know pretty well.
If I could take this one, Joe, I know I personally am looking forward to recreating Samoa Joe versus Shinsuke Nakamura. You guys had that epic rivalry in NXT over the NXT Championship.
And I could see why you'd want to. I mean, obviously, Shinsuke, for however I feel about him, is a phenomenal athlete and an incredible grappler. But as we all know, in the end, I still whipped his ass.
So what are some of the other match types that we can actually do in the video game?
Well, I just know from doing the voiceovers, there's going to be all sorts of crazy variations on typical matches. You can do your standard one-on-one. You can do tag team. You can go Hell in a Cell. You can go elimination, tornado matches. There's match types I don't think I've ever even heard of. Maybe they've never taken place, but they can take place in WWE 2K18. Joe, anything you're looking forward to?
I mean, when you talk about match types and expandability, I mean, I think it's something that we do very, very strongly in 2K. And so I'm very much looking forward to kind of tuning up myself for a fatal 4 or 5-way.
Ooh, okay. All right, I think we're all looking forward to that for sure. All right, so what else we have here for the reveal here for the roster is some of the all-time greats in WWE. What would 2K18 be without some of these guys? The most electrifying man in entertainment, The Rock. The Viper, Randy Orton. The King of Kings, Triple H.
Time to play the game!
In this year's special pre-order character, Olympic gold medalist and Raw General Manager, Kurt Angle. The Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. And the champ, John Cena.
As if the roster for 2K18 had to get any bigger, a couple more great additions. A couple additions you know a whole lot about personally. Let's start with Brock Lesnar, a man you've been in the ring with at the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view, at SummerSlam in Brooklyn. What's it like being in the ring with the Beast incarnate?
Well, obviously, Brock Lesnar is an incredible athlete unto himself. And it is quite a tall order anytime you're asked to go in there against him. But I've always managed to find a way to get under his skin and maybe lay a little bit more of a beat down on him than he really likes.
Well, let's talk about the general manager of Monday Night Raw and this year's pre-order character, Kurt Angle.
I think Kurt Angle's career speaks for itself. And obviously, for the better part of a decade, when he was away from here, he was battling me all around the world.
Kurt Angle, we know how amazing he is, and now another person that can just add one extra thing onto his list of accomplishments. The musical curator for 2K18 is The Rock. He can add that onto his list, and we've got music in this from Kid Rock, Kanye West,
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars.
That's my guy.
You love Bruno.
I love
He really
Bruno
does
Mars.
love
You get
Bruno
down to
Mars.
Bruno?
Bruno's all right.
Rock did a great job.
Earlier, you guys actually heard me talk about the Seen Enough edition, but I didn't really get to tell you guys exactly what that entails, so why don't we take a look at what you get when you pre-order. Okay, here's what you're gonna get. An exclusive Mattel John Cena action figure, limited edition Fanatics commemorative plaque featuring an autographed John Cena card, and a piece of the ring mat from his historic 16th WWE Championship win. Of course, that took place at the Royal Rumble of 2017. You also get playable superstars RVD and Batista, as well as 2 playable versions of John Cena. Plus, you can actually play 4 days earlier. And you get bonus content for WWE Supercards. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a lot of fun.
It has been. I know. It's been a pleasure for both of you, tremendously.
All right, this has been brought to you by WWE2K and IGN. We'll be back next week when we reveal more of the roster here on 2K18. And we're also going to have another special guest with us.
I have someone very, very special in mind, Renee. I think you in particular are going to enjoy.
I hope so.
It's going to be a downgrade. Right on.
Get the deluxe edition and play 4 days early.